She went camping with her ex after I asked her not to, so I quietly changed my emergency contact and disappeared without saying a word. This all happened last weekend, and honestly, I'm still trying to process how quickly things spiraled. Nora and I had been together for 2.5 years. I really thought we had a strong relationship, or at least I did. About a year ago, we started doing Sunday dinners with her family, and it turned into a regular thing. Her parents loved me. Her sister Maya thought I was great. The whole family vibe was good. Then, around 3 weeks back, Nora casually mentioned that her ex-boyfriend Zach was putting together a camping trip with their old college friend group. She said she wanted to go since it had been forever since she saw everyone, and she thought it would be a fun way to reconnect. I wasn't exactly thrilled. She and Zach dated for about 3 years back in college. They stayed friendly after breaking up, but he's always acted a little off with me. He drops comments about memories they shared, tries to leave me out of conversations, that kind of guy. And it's a weekend trip. Tents, booze, sleeping bags. Just seemed like a setup for some bad decisions. I told Nora I didn't feel great about her going away for the weekend with her ex. I wasn't being demanding or controlling, just sharing how I felt. Right away she got defensive, said Zach was in the past and I was being insecure for no reason. She told me she should be allowed to stay friends with whoever she wants. But it wasn't about friendship for me. It was about boundaries that make sense when you're in a relationship. She didn't want to hear that. Said I was trying to tell her who she could or couldn't hang out with, and that it wasn't fair. We went back and forth for a couple of days. I tried to explain that camping trips are personal and close-knit, and the fact that her ex was organizing it just made it worse. But she kept saying I was being paranoid and jealous. Eventually I said, if keeping this friendship matters more than understanding where I'm coming from about boundaries, maybe we're not on the same page about what this relationship is. She said I was being dramatic and trying to give her ultimatums instead of trusting her. Then on Sunday, Nora posted something on Instagram, a long caption about how men freak out when women have male friends. She wrote about how concern disguised as control is still control, and how women should be allowed to have friendships without their boyfriends throwing fits. She didn't tag me, but come on, it was obviously about me. Her friends jumped into the comments with stuff about toxic masculinity and insecure men, really going hard in support of her. I didn't react. Didn't like the post, didn't comment, didn't say anything, just took a screenshot and started thinking about what it really meant. She wasn't just disagreeing with me anymore, she was calling me out in public, painting me as some controlling, insecure boyfriend who couldn't handle her having guy friends. That's when I realized this wasn't about one trip or one argument. Nora didn't respect how I felt, and she definitely didn't care how this made me look or feel. So on Monday morning, I called HR at work and switched my emergency contact from Nora to my brother, Jake. I also updated my beneficiary and medical power of attorney, removed Nora from everything, put Jake on instead. Jake was surprised when I called to give him a heads up. He asked, "Everything okay with you and Nora?" I said, "Not really. I'll tell you more later. Just needed to update some stuff." That evening, Nora came over like everything was totally normal. She was cheerful, talking about campfire recipes, hiking trails, finalizing the trip plans, like our fight, and that Instagram post never happened. I didn't mention anything about it, didn't bring up the post or the emergency contact changes. I just let her talk while I sat there, quietly taking it all in. By Tuesday, I felt like I needed to say something to her parents before things got any worse. Carol and David had always treated me well, and they deserved to hear what was going on. So I called Carol and asked if we could talk privately. I said, "Just wanted to let you know, Nora and I are dealing with some serious stuff right now. I probably won't be coming to Sunday dinner." She sounded immediately concerned and asked what was going on, if there was anything she could do. I explained the situation carefully, how Nora wanted to go on this trip with her ex. And when I raised concerns about boundaries, she made that post online calling me jealous and controlling. I told her I wasn't trying to drag her into it, but I thought she deserved to know why I might not be around as much moving forward. Carol stayed quiet for a bit, taking it all in. Then she said, "Thanks for being honest. That doesn't sound like the Nora we raised." And I told her, she's free to do what she wants, but I can't be part of a relationship where my feelings are dismissed and mocked publicly. She thanked me for the call and said she hoped we'd find a way to work things out. On Wednesday, I had a similar conversation with David, and yeah, he took it about how you'd expect. You've always been thoughtful and respectful, so if something's bothering you, there's probably a reason. Thursday evening, Nora was packing for the trip, rolling up her sleeping bag, folding hiking clothes, acting like everything between us was totally fine. She looked over at me and asked, "You sure you're okay with me going?" I said, "You've made your decision, Nora. I've made mine." She paused. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you're free to have whatever friendships you want with whoever you want." She seemed satisfied with that, gave a little nod, and went back to packing. Friday morning she left for the trip, gave me a quick kiss goodbye, and said she'd text me when she got there. Around 2 p.m. she texted that they'd made it to the campsite, said everything looked amazing, and sent a group photo of everyone setting up tents. Later that evening, around 8, she called, said they were cooking over the fire, laughing, catching up, sounded like she'd been drinking. "Miss you, babe, wish you were here." I just said, "Have fun, no, be safe." Saturday came, and I didn't hear from her at all. No texts, no calls, not even a story or post, just silence. Then, late Saturday night, around 11, my phone started buzzing. Nora was calling. I didn't pick up. She called again right away. Still didn't answer. Third call. Still nothing from me. Then the texts started coming in. She was asking why I wasn't answering, saying I needed to call her back. I just flipped my phone to silent and went to bed early. Sunday morning, I woke up to 28 missed calls from Nora and over 40 text messages. She was clearly freaking out. The messages went from worried to angry, then back to panicked. It was a full spiral. Instead of calling her back, I got in my car and drove to her parents' place. I figured this might be my last Sunday dinner with them, and they deserved to hear it from me. Carol and David looked surprised to see me show up without Nora. I told them she was still out camping and that I needed to talk to them about what was going on between us. I just wanted to let you both know that Nora and I are breaking up. This will probably be my last time here for dinner. Carol looked genuinely upset. David seemed disappointed, but not shocked. I explained how Nora had chosen to put her relationship with her ex above my boundaries, how instead of talking to me about it, she went online and made a public post making me out to be some jealous, controlling boyfriend. David nodded. That's not how you deal with relationship problems. I told them I'd realized we wanted different things. Nora wanted total freedom without having to consider how her choices affect her partner. I wanted a relationship built on mutual respect and open communication. We still had dinner. It was calm, almost nostalgic. Carol even packed up leftovers for me, just like always. They both hugged me goodbye and said they were sorry things turned out this way. At around 6 p.m, Nora finally got home from her trip. My phone immediately started ringing. Where the hell have you been? I've been calling you all night and day. I was at Sunday dinner with your parents. Why didn't you answer me? Because I was busy explaining to them why I won't be coming to Sunday dinners anymore. She went quiet. What are you talking about? I'm talking about how you picked a camping trip with your ex over listening to how I felt about our relationship. How instead of talking to me, you posted online calling me controlling. Another pause. You saw that? Everyone saw it, Nora. That was kind of the point, right? I was just frustrated, and you chose to express that by publicly disrespecting me and our relationship. That's not frustration, that's a choice. Nothing happened on the trip. I believe you. But you still made it very clear where your priorities are. You made fun of my concerns instead of having a real conversation about them. So you're breaking up with me over a social media post. I'm breaking up with you because you didn't treat me or this relationship with respect. You couldn't handle a conflict like an adult. Update 4 days later. Nora's been trying to clean up the mess, but it's hitting her now that this is real. Her parents are clearly disappointed, and she knows it. Maya actually called me yesterday to see how I was doing. She said Nora's been crying to their mum about how I overreacted to a camping trip. But apparently Carol told her that going online to blast your boyfriend instead of talking to him face to face was immature and out of line. Carol said that when you're in a relationship, you don't solve problems by turning them into public drama. Meanwhile, Nora's been posting these vague stories about men who can't handle independent women. Her friends are still hyping her up, but her family, not so much. And to top it all off, the trip didn't even go the way Nora planned. Maya heard from mutual friends that Zach spent most of the weekend hitting on Nora, being super inappropriate. Nora ended up feeling uncomfortable and wanted to leave early. That's when she started blowing up my phone, because Zach was being Zach and I wasn't picking up. She finally realized that me not answering wasn't just a silent treatment, it meant something was really wrong. My brother Jake ended up calling me to check in because Nora had reached out to him, trying to get a hold of me. She said it was an emergency, he told me, asked for your number. I told her that if it's a real emergency, she should probably call 911. Apparently, Nora didn't take that response very well. Yesterday, she showed up at my apartment wanting to talk, one last attempt to patch things up. She apologized for the Instagram post and admitted that going camping with Zach probably wasn't the smartest move. She said she understood now why I was upset. I listened, then I explained why that wasn't enough. Nora, this wasn't just a lapse in judgment. You didn't just mess up. You went online and publicly tore down my character instead of coming to me directly. I know I was wrong, she said. I'll take down the post. I'll apologize publicly. But I shook my head. It's too late for that. You already showed me how you deal with conflict. When we don't agree on something, you don't talk to me, you attack me in front of everyone. That's not what I meant to do. I was just frustrated. Frustrated people talk. They try to work through it. Disrespectful people air out private issues online. She kept pushing, saying everyone makes mistakes and that I should give her another chance. This wasn't a mistake, Nora. It was a decision. You chose to go on that trip knowing how I felt, and then you chose to mock me publicly when I spoke up. She left upset, maybe still hoping I'd change my mind, but I think she finally understood that some choices come with lasting consequences. 3 weeks later, Nora's been adjusting to post-breakup life. Her family's still there for her, but they haven't sugarcoated anything. They've been honest about how disappointed they are. Carol told her straight, "You threw away a good relationship for a camping trip with someone who doesn't even respect you." David told her something that really stuck with me. Public disrespect ends relationships faster than private arguments ever could. As for Nora's dating life, it hasn't been smooth. Word got around. The guys she's interested in have already heard about what happened through mutual friends. It's hard to build trust with someone who's known for putting their partner on blast online. Zach, surprise surprise, tried making a move after the trip, but Nora shut him down. Turns out she only wanted his attention when it helped her feel justified in defying me. Once she was single, all of a sudden his attention didn't feel flattering anymore. It felt gross. Meanwhile, I've been doing a lot better without the chaos. No more tiptoeing around someone who handles disagreements by shaming me publicly. I've started seeing someone new, and the difference is night and day. She doesn't always agree with me, but when we see things differently, she actually talks to me about it. She'll say stuff like, "I think you're wrong about that, but let's figure out why we see it differently." And it's incredible how much easier relationships are when both people want to actually understand each other. Nora's learned the hard way that public disrespect leads to private consequences. Instead of talking through our problems, she went searching for validation online. And sure, she got it. Her friends cheered her on, told her she was right. But in the end, she lost the relationship she claimed to care about. Sometimes, the best response to being publicly disrespected isn't arguing back, it's just walking away. Nora got exactly what she said she wanted: full freedom to keep whatever friendships she wanted without her controlling boyfriend's opinion. She just didn't expect that freedom to come without my presence, my support, or my love.